I used to be quite a big fan of the silly juice. Way too big a fan. So much so that I was causing major problems in my life and other people's lives. It caused me to steal some children's video games and go and sell them to GameStop. Now I'm banned from selling stuff at GameStop. Been kicked out of bars, gotten into fights. Yeah, good times. I'm never doing any of that again. I haven't had a drink in so long, man. I'm more of a fan of the ganja nowadays myself. And even then, it's not very often. Every day, but it's just not all day. Just like in the morning when I wake up, and then when I'm starting to go to upload things, and when I lay down. That's it. The middle of the day, when I'm doing things, now I try and stay as sober as possible. Sometimes my back gets to hurting, because I got some back issues. Anyway, I'm rambling too long. Alcohol, the best worst drug from In a Nutshell. Kurzgesagt.
Alcohol is the most harmful substance on Earth. Every year...
I don't know about that. I mean, like, by population percentage, sure, but there are way worse drugs out there. Like fentanyl.
It kills more people than terrorism, wars, homicides, and car accidents combined. It injures tens of millions in accidents, violence, and crime.
Yeah, even people who have nothing to do with drinking alcohol. They're just, you know, bystanders, or like they're just riding in a car down the highway trying to get somewhere, and then boom, life changing, everybody's dead.
While keeping hundreds of millions trapped in disease. If it didn't exist already, inventing it
Stan, your daddy's very sick. He has a disease.
today would be unthinkable. And yet, more than 2 billion people drink. Most of us can't imagine a barbecue without beer, a wedding without wine, or a fancy soiree without
I could have a beer or two every once in a while. I can't have more than 2 because I will go and take a nap because beer makes me sleepy.
champagne. We have a drink at the weekend because it's the weekend, but also after work, when we're stressed and when we're relaxed, sad and happy, at home and outside. Alcohol is kind of a paradox. Why do we cling so much to the thing that harms us the most? You after one drink. Alcohol is a biological weapon that yeast produces during fermentation to wipe out its competition. In alcoholic drinks, it's mixed with water and flavored with everything from fruits to caramel. With just one sip, sextillions of alcohol molecules flood your stomach and...
I actually never looked into what actually alcohol does to you. I mean, they taught us about it in school, but they didn't really go into it.
Small intestine. From there, they head to your liver, your primary detox center, and to other organs like the brain. But your liver can only process about 1 sip of beer every 5 minutes, so unless you drink really slowly, it will become overwhelmed while an ever-growing swarm floods your brain. Here's where the chaos begins. The legion of intruders fills your brain and starts messing with neurotransmitters and receptors. Their sabotage is so complex that scientists aren't fully sure yet about all their mechanisms. But we know that alcohol numbs your neurons, making them slower, and disrupts their communication.
Oh yeah, it numbs all right, I'll tell you.
This has several effects.
Yeah, if you're feeling bad and you take a bunch of drinks of alcohol, you ain't gonna be feeling so bad anymore. Or you will feel bad and you just don't remember it the next day.
It sedates you,
very
melting away
bad.
tension and stress. It stuns your prefrontal...
You have to feel the emotions for them to heal. If you can't feel them, then they just stay there.
cortex, your center for decision-making and self-control, making you more disinhibited and prone to say or do things that you normally wouldn't. And it releases endorphins, feel-good molecules deeply tied to human connection. The chemicals that we produce when we laugh, sing or dance with others, and which help us turn fleeting moments into shared memories. So, after a drink or 3, the world doesn't only feel lighter, it feels lighter with others. The invisible walls of insecurity around us begin to soften, and you find yourself becoming a little more you. Less afraid to talk, laugh, sing, or share joys and sorrows. Conversations flow easier. Smiles last a little longer.
Actually, it doesn't make me say things that I wouldn't normally say. It makes me make me say things that I actually think, and it gets me in trouble. That's how I end up in a lot of fights whenever I'm not like violent or anything, but I end up saying things to piss people off to make them want to fight me.
And strangers can become friends or lovers more easily. So, for a while, it feels like the weight of being human isn't yours to carry alone. Alcohol sits at a sweet spot of gentle relaxation, mild courage, and friendly companionship that makes it the perfect social lubricant. One that comes with quite a few costs. Your body on regular drinking. For billions, these
Dude, my stepdad was not a regular drinker. He was an all-day, everyday drinker, drinking vodka. He'd drink like a half gallon of vodka a day. He's got wet brain now. He's in a wheelchair. He can barely talk, but he can't stop talking. He's just like constantly. And every once in a while you hear him say something, you're like, oh, that makes some kind of sense. He's there still. He just can't stop. Like, if you try and talk to him, he understands you. He just can't stop talking.
Sounds become more frequent over time. The occasional drink becomes a weekly habit, then a ritual every other day, catching up with friends or unwinding. And there's always this buddy who drinks way more and has a perfectly normal life. But as the rounds add up over years, the damage builds up.
Yep.
The alcohol molecule can dissolve in water and fat, which allows it to invade almost every cell and tissue. And when your body breaks it down, it transforms into acetaldehyde, a chemical
I didn't know this!
that's even more toxic than alcohol itself and that wreaks havoc on your tissues, cells, and DNA.
Yeah, is this what causes you to have a hangover and you feel like complete shit all over your body? Every single thing about you feels like garbage?
In your brain, this shrinks your neurons and severs their connections, making
you stupider.
it harder for different parts of the brain to communicate. As your brain withers, your memories fade, your thinking slows down, and your risk of dementia increases. When and how you drink matters.
Yep, and we call that wet brain.
The younger you are, the wider the damage, and the more you drink in one go, the worse you'll make it. The human brain isn't fully wired until your mid-20s, so drinking before that age is like smashing.
Yeah, I started in high school, and I quit before I turned 25. Actually, around, I'd say 24 is when I quit drinking.
Wet cement before it's set. In 20-year-olds, blackout drinking episodes have been found to cause mental problems for up to a year, forgetting why you entered a room or having
I still have problems with this.
difficulty learning new things.
I don't have problems with that. I learn new things all the time. I'm perfectly fine with that. But forgetting things, real bad. And the ganja doesn't help, I'll tell you that much.
Binge drinking in late adolescence is also one of the highest risk factors for early onset dementia. Then there's cancer. Just as smoking hits your lungs, alcohol causes 8 types of cancer, basically everywhere from mouth to bowel, plus breast cancer in women.
Yeah, the amount of people that I've seen die from drinking early trumps the amount of people that I know who die from smoking early. And they tend to die earlier if it's from drinking, like 40s and 50s. People that I know that die from smoking, it's usually like 60s, 70s, 80s.
Here, risks start at an average consumption of less than 1 glass of wine per day. Beyond that,
I thought he just farted.
Risks increase. Worldwide, alcohol causes around 740,000 new cancer cases per
I'm glad that when I was an alcoholic, I wasn't like super alcoholic and I wasn't drinking every day. I was just a weekend alcoholic.
year, leading to 400,000 deaths.
Sometimes I would drink throughout the week. Just beer, though.
Another victim is your liver. Alcohol disrupts fat metabolism, causing fat to build up in your liver cells. But this often has no symptoms, so you may go on drinking as your liver slowly turns to fat, swells with inflammation, and starts to fail. The final stage is cirrhosis. Your liver is full of scars and barely functioning. This might take over 10 years, but once it appears, it's largely irreversible. Every year, 600,000 people die because they have a liver destroyed by alcohol. Drinking also.
I know a lot of people right now who've been drinking for years, who are my age, I'm friends with, that drink every single day, like a fifth a day. And I'm just like, bro, you ain't got long for this world. I'm gonna live twice as long as you.
It weakens your heart, raises blood pressure, and increases
Unless something crazy happens and I just die randomly.
the risk of stroke and thrombosis, leading to another 500,000 deaths from cardiovascular diseases every year. In terms of looks too, alcohol damages cells around your body, including your skin, which looks older sooner.
Yep.
And not only does alcohol contain a lot of calories itself, it also makes many people very hungry. Drinking is a huge source of weight gain and increases the risk of obesity, opening the door to a cascade of other health problems. When scientists crunch these numbers, they see that health problems can start at about 1 beer a day, and that the chances of premature death start rising significantly at around 3 beers a day for men and less than 2 for women. If this sounds like a lot to you, maybe look around. In the EU,
I think those statistics are bullshit, by the way. I don't think they're real, because what kind of beer, what's the alcohol percentage of that beer? Because does lower percentage alcohol do less, or is it exactly the same in the statistics? Because like you got to let that known. You got to let that be known, or you have a flawed study.
Average man drinks the equivalent of almost 3 beers a day. The average woman, almost 1.
And think about how many people don't drink. If that tells you anything, 3 beers for every person per day, that's a fucking lot.
Similar figures apply to much of the world, especially the West. There's no other drug
Now, whenever I drink, I don't drink, but I don't even usually finish my second beer.
we consume that gets so close
Like
to the edge of
twice a
harm.
year I drink.
It isn't only your body. Alcohol is unique for another reason. Its unmatched ability to destroy others. Alcohol causes a staggering amount of accidents. The numbness and disinhibition of a few drinks can morph you into a clumsy critter eager to take really stupid risks.
Yeah, and it can break families apart really, really easily.
On a balcony, at sea, or on the road.
Yeah, not even like
Every
direct
year.
damage where it's like an accident happens. No, it like divides people.
Alcohol-fueled accidents kill 500,000 people.
And it changes your personality.
300,000 of them in car accidents. But more than half of the people who died in those crashes didn't drink. They just died because someone else did. Alcohol
Yep,
is also
it's
one of the
fucking bad.
major causes of violence, from fights at the pub to domestic abuse, other brutal assaults, and murder.
Yeah, if you drink and drive, you are one of the worst pieces of shit.
Figures differ by country, but essentially 50% of all violent crime and
Oh, I actually drive pretty good drunk. I drive better even. Get the fuck out of here. All it takes is one time for you to not.
sexual assault is committed by drunk offenders. Each year, alcohol-fueled crime kills about 100,000 people. That's a city like Pisa being massacred every year by a drunk mob.
I have a friend from high school who went to prison because he was super drunk and he was on Xanax, and he broke into a Dollar General, stole a Red Bull and some Cheetos, and walked out.
And then you have all the non-lethal victims. In England alone, 500,000 adults are injured every year in accidents caused by drunk people. Another 800,000 get hurt in violent attacks by drunk offenders. Zoomed out to the rest of the drinking world, this means that every year dozens of millions are physically harmed by someone else's drinking. The most innocent bystanders are the 600,000 babies born every year with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, a devastating lifelong condition caused by drinking during pregnancy. Alcohol is nothing short of a global catastrophe. The final toll, the hijacking of 400 million lives. When your drinking escalates to a point that it causes real harm to yourself or others, you've crossed the invisible line to alcoholism. An estimated 400 million people, 1 in 14 adults, are in this territory. The line is very fuzzy and varies from person to person, but if you consistently drink 8 beers per week as a woman, 15 as a man, or 5 on the same day, you've either crossed the line or are dangerously walking towards it. Of those 400 million, more than half have fallen into an even deeper trap: dependence. When alcohol has become something that you physically or psychologically need.
Yeah, it wasn't physically for me yet, but it was definitely psychological, where I felt like I couldn't do anything outside of my house if I wasn't drunk. If I was at home, I didn't usually drink because I was doing things, but the weekends and whatever party days through the week that I decided to have, you know, yeah, I was socially and mentally dependent on it.
In Europe and the Americas, 1 in 20 adults are caught in this web. The stereotype of alcoholism is one of extremes. A homeless person clutching a bottle, or an always drunk father shouting at his kids. But it can be far more silent. A US study found that up to 50% of all
Yeah, mine was silent. Like, nobody even knew that I had a problem. I was holding my problems really well.
alcoholics may fly under the radar. They come in 2 main groups: unproblematic young adults
But where I'm from, people getting into a fight every once in a while when they're drunk, that's normal, because there's a lot of alcoholics.
and middle-aged professionals with successful careers and families. As one of them, you'll show no antisocial behavior. You'll fulfill your obligations. You'll probably have no diagnosed health conditions. But on average, you'll be having 4 beers a day and will get drunk every week. And neither you nor your family may notice. No one questions a drink at dinner, after work, or at a party.
I do.
But it's exactly
I do.
that makes alcohol so dangerous. No other drug is so widely accepted, casually consumed, and easily ignored. So, okay, how did we come to this? A pact with the devil. We made a pact with alcohol to help us solve one of the greatest challenges of being human.
Money!
Human interaction is messy. We long for closeness,
That too, I
but
guess.
we're also
That's why we drink. But why it keeps getting pushed on us is because of money.
anxious, awkward, and wary of each other. Am I talking too much? Do they actually like me? What if I say something stupid?
I don't give a fuck anymore, man. I don't care if people like me, and I don't care if I say something stupid. Usually it's gonna be offensive, and I really don't care.
There are many ways to navigate this. Alcohol is not the solution, but it is definitely one of them. It is a real and effortless solution to the problem of connecting with others. Studies confirm what we've known for millennia. Modest quantities of alcohol help strangers bond. And individuals who drink moderately and socially tend to have more friends, closer friendships, and higher levels of trust in others. So if we want to step
And who fucking needs any of that? More people to stab me in the back? No thank you.
away from alcohol, we need to be honest about what we gain from it.
That's
For
what tends
millennia,
to happen to
we've
me in my life. I get fucking backstabbed all the time.
been giving it our health and years of our lives.
I'm glad the place that I'm in now, nobody has any problems with any drugs or anything, and I'm not afraid of being backstabbed by anybody here. And I fucking love it. I'm in like the best position that I've ever been in my life. Love it so much.
And in return, alcohol gave us confidence, connection, and celebration. But right now, this is changing rapidly. Younger generations, and especially Gen Z, are drinking far less than their parents did. In the US, the share of 18-year-olds who have ever tried alcohol has dropped by 25% in the last decades. Binge drinking in adolescence has plummeted by 50%.
Good.
And even in countries like Germany or
But I think they're trading it in for some other things that are just as bad or even worse. Not even talking about like straight up drugs that you put in your body. It's just like social media. They're replacing alcohol with social media, and it's getting real bad. People aren't dying yet, but I think we're gonna see it. Mostly it's gonna be sewer slides.
France, where beer and wine have always been part of the cultural DNA, alcohol consumption is falling. And that's a victory. Fewer accidents, fewer hospital beds filled, fewer lives quietly derailed. But at the same time, other things have been falling too. The share of young people who see their friends almost every day has plummeted by 50%.
Yep. Also,
Attendance
social
at
media.
parties has fallen by 30%.
Social media.
Dating and casual sex have fallen by a
Social
similar
media.
amount. All while loneliness and mental health issues have skyrocketed.
Social media.
There are many different reasons for this, from COVID to social media.
I think COVID didn't really make that much of a difference. I think social media during COVID did. I think if we didn't have social media, we wouldn't have allowed all the things that happened during COVID to happen. People weren't going to be locked in their houses doing absolutely fucking nothing but staring at the wall. No. But if you got social media, you got your phone you can stare at.
But the shift in which drugs we consume is probably not totally unrelated either. Drugs like weed have gained ground massively, and in contrast to drinking, smoking weed tends to make many people less energetic and likely to do things, more socially awkward, and especially if you use a lot of it, more lonely.
It only makes you more socially awkward if you're around people who don't also do the things that you do. That's what weed does, really. If you're not around other people who smoke weed, then it's awkward. But if you're around people that do smoke weed, you feel comfortable around them because you feel like it's your type of people. They understand you.
Alcohol has been a powerful and
Especially if you're an older stoner, you know, when it was illegal pretty much fucking everywhere. Well, it was illegal everywhere whenever I started smoking. That was a rough one. Now it's legal like everywhere I go.
influential tool for sharing, celebrating, and enjoying life with others for thousands of years. If the West is on the path to drinking less, we might also be on the path to something completely new. A future where we connect and rejoice without a poisonous chemical crutch, or at least without this specific one. It's up to us to figure out what comes next.
Yeah, something better probably, hopefully. Hopefully it's not worse. Because the reason we have alcohol even in the first place was because water was poison to us. And it was better for us to drink alcohol. That's the whole reason why we even started drinking as a species.
There are so many other ways to strengthen your confidence and make connections. By doing the things you're passionate about. By working towards the future.
By not giving a fuck. That's my favorite one. People who just don't give a fuck and just let it all out there and they're just completely open. I love that shit.
By investing time into your dreams. Like starting your own business.
No holding back.
With the help of today's sponsor, Odoo, a business management software, you can do the first step of starting a new business and hit the dragon getting behind the scenes. But all while you can have, you could save humanity from an alien. Your stock essentials are
okay. Well, I guess that's the end of the video. Well, yeah, there you go, man. Video about drinking. You probably shouldn't. It's okay to have some drinks every once in a while, but if you're drinking all the time, if you're drinking very often to the point where, like, you're thinking about having a drink, it's bad. You need to back up. You need to get off it, man. I'm telling you, it ain't worth it. It's so much better on the other side. You're scared that you're going to have to feel things and that the world is going to be boring. But actually, once you get out of that, it only takes a couple weeks. And then you start to feel better than you've ever felt before. I promise you. Take that step, man. It's worth it. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for all notifications.